The Wolves field hockey team is now ranked 3rd in the nation. Our cameras were there for the latest game. Wolves cross-country star Tyler Shumate visits us in the studio, and head football coach Todd Knight celebrates his 100th victory. We'll have the story, all this and more coming up on Wolves Weekly. From the Langford Center studios at Newberry College, I'm Tucker Moore.
And I'm Courtney Belton. Welcome back to Wolves Weekly. The Newberry College field hockey team has been on a roll at the start of this season. They are currently ranked 3rd in the nation, and they are brought to their exciting game to Setzler Field this past week. Our Wolves Weekly team was there to bring you some of the highlights.
On Wednesday, October 8th, the Newberry Wolves continued their undefeated winning streak against Lincoln Memorial in a dominant performance, winning the game 9-1. The first half, the Wolves showed their offensive dominance, going after their goalie with all their might with a total of 10 shots, with 3 of them hitting by Fanit Heimzerk, Peyton Keeler, Leaky Vanderkamp in the first quarter, and Amber Tozana hitting a goal in the second quarter, assisted by Peyton Keeler. Not only was the offense amazing, but the defense was rocking in the first half, not giving them anything to shoot at, only allowing them to get off 1 shot. In the second half, the dominance continued with their offensive and defensive skills, going after Lincoln Memorial, shooting 6 shots in the third quarter, with 4 hitting by Peyton Keeler, her second goal, a goal by Emma Westbrook, who tied the most career goal in program history, and Leaky Vanderkamp, her second of the day, with the defense hold them to 0 shots in the third quarter. In the fourth quarter, the Fire continued with non-stop attacks, with 6 shots taken, including a goal by Peyton Keeler, who added her 3rd of the day with an amazing performance, along with 2 assists to help the Wolves. Lincoln Memorial finally put a goal in at the closing of the game, but that was a little too late as Newberry won the game 9-1 in a dominating fashion. Your number 3 ranked Wolves go 9-0 on the season and 5-0 in the conference play. The next game will be played on Saturday, October 11th at 2 p.m. against Lander. Maddie Schiffbauer, NCTV.
And what a great win for the ladies. We also were not able to cover their Saturday victory over Lander 3-2, but now they moved to 10-0 and 7-0 in SAC play, and what a great, amazing start for these ladies. It's actually the best start in school history, despite 2023 having their most wins in school history at 14-4, and then 2024 actually going 14-4 and eclipsing that record. And now they're setting themselves up to have an even better record this year. What a great job Hannah Dave has been building this program. And what can they do this year to finally get over the hump? And you know, each year they've had playoff and championship implications. This year, what makes this team different in order to actually go and get the job done?
I think it's their motivation. They've seen that they can do it. They have leadership on the team like Emma Westbrook. I mean, since we last saw her in the studio, she just broke the all-time leading career points for the Newberry College history. I mean, that's insane. So when Hannah Dave goes out and does her recruiting, she's going to have to look for girls that have that same leadership quality, and they're going to have a lot to work up to, and just having that kind of initiative on the field. And their offense is impeccable. I mean, this season they have shown anything but resilience. I mean, everything has just been perfect for them. So I think that's what they've been doing this season.
That's right. I agree. Yeah. And we're all really excited to see how the ladies finish up the season. Throughout the rest of the next few weeks, we'll keep you guys updated on their record and their games coming up. But Wolves Weekly will be back in a moment.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to Wolves Weekly. I'm Philip Wade. Joining me today in the studio from Wolves Cross Country team is Tyler Shumate. So Tyler, how you doing today? Thank you for joining us for this interview.
Thank you.
So far this year, you've been having a breakout year, you know, finishing top 10 in multiple meets. What training and preparation did you do in the offseason to be in a position that you are now?
I did a lot of talking with some other some other runners that did very good last year, and I started incorporating it into my training for the summer. I just upped my mileage a lot. Like I was going from 60 miles a week to 80 miles a week, doing a lot of threshold training, doing a lot of different type of training that I'd never done before to make my body prep for cross country, because I'm mainly a track runner, and I wanted to be like, hey, if I'm gonna do cross country, I wanna be great at it. So I just started adapting all the different type of trainings to my cross country.
Yeah, that's some good work ethic that you got. And speaking of that work ethic that you just talked about, I found out that you had earned, you know, all invitational team. How you feel about that?
It was a big improvement for me, and I was really glad to hear about it. And it's just like one of those things, like just seeing your work paying off, you know. Something that I've always prided myself on is being able to compete with everybody that's around me, whoever they are. I just want to be able to compete with everybody around me.
So I got a personal question. So you're from Maine, so how does that feel coming from Maine, coming all the way down to South Carolina, being 16 hours away from home?
It was a big change for me, I'll be honest. Moving away from home was like a big step for me. I always love Maine. It's always my home. But I feel like I could have done more, right? Like reach out more. And honestly, I don't like the cold weather. I love the warm weather here, and that was something that brought me joy. But coming away from Maine got me out of my comfort zone, and I think it's just made me overall a better runner, is to be more out there.
I feel you on that. So what made you want to do cross country at the collegiate level?
I always had my passion for track. It's always been my first love. And cross country honestly just let me improve myself for track. So I just use cross country as a stepping stool to build myself more into track. But overall, it's just cross country helps me with everything, just whether it's track, mental, just overall to help me just be a better me. So that's why I stuck with cross country.
So I found out you're an exercise science major. So how do you manage, how do you manage your academic life with your athletic life and also your personal life as well?
Yeah, that's a great question. Honestly, it's a lot of just hard work. Like, I apply my dedication to track, and I try to overall deploy that everywhere else. Because in high school, I wasn't the best in academics, which I realized coming to college, that's not going to float. So I started just applying my determination with track into the school, whether it was studying or just looking over things, it all correlated. And just overall my personal life, I feel like really balanced out with track, because and cross country and track have always been something that I correlate my life around. So everything else balances out, if that makes sense for you.
Yeah, it does. Thank you for your time here, and I appreciate your answers and, just coming out here to Wolves Weekly and the crew with us.
It was great. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Wolves Weekly will be back right after this break.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to Wolves Weekly. I'm Courtney Belton. Wolves head football coach Todd Knight became the winningest coach in Newberry's history a few years ago, a history that spans more than 100 years. But after last week's amazing win over Wingate in overtime, Coach Knight added another accolade to his resume, 100 wins. Our team has the story.
Newberry head football coach Todd Knight began his tenure here at Newberry College in 2003, serving as the team's defensive coordinator before being promoted to head coach in 2009. Coach Knight has been named South Atlantic Conference Coach of the Year 3 times and has won 3 SAC championships, with 2 of those being back-to-back championships in 2021 and 2022, coming off of 10-win seasons. Todd Knight became the winningest head football coach in Newberry football history in 2021 when he picked up his 73rd career win. Fast forward to 2025, with a heart-pounding overtime win versus Wingate, Coach Knight eclipsed a feat most could only dream of, 100 career wins.
It's a milestone. It's something I never thought would ever come true one day, so to speak. After it was over with, I sat and thought for a minute. I said, okay, I remember number 1, my first ever game as a head coach. And 99 later, in that fashion, like you said, it was really cool. I've not done this. Todd Knight didn't do this. This was all the coaches that have been here, all the administrators I've worked for over the years, and all the great kids that we've had here.
Oh, man, it's been great. I've been doing Coach Knight all my life. And he pushes us. But he also pushes the kids. But I'll tell you, as far as, it's just a blessing to have been a part of all those 100 wins, man, because each and every one of them is special. You have to enjoy the wins because hopefully we can continue that success here.
It feels great, man. It's also a blessing that we get to be in this position, man. But it's just an honor, man. It's fun. I like to win. You feel me? It feels good. We winning. We playing good. We playing together. Everything's going good.
When I first got the job, I think we just took the role of the underdog, and we ran with that for years. Now we can't use that anymore because we have had some success and we have grown and changed here. So now it's become more of instead of we're out there hunting, we've become the hunted. Instead of, hey, look, we're good enough to beat these teams. Well, now you say, okay, we are that team. We are the standard now, that you have to come beat us.
He really makes sure that our guys are taken care of. And I don't know that many decisions that Coach Knight makes in regards to our football program here at Newberry, he keeps the football players, he keeps their, situations first at hand when he makes a decision because, again, it's about the guys and not the coaches.
he teach me real life lessons, like how to be a better man, how to, live the honest way, how to not take the easy route out, and stuff like that translates to the field a lot. So now when you get on the field, it's just second nature. You just go out there and just play your game and, be a man.
In his time here at Newberry College, he has no doubt created a new standard of excellence for this program. With excellence comes learning and battling through adversity, on and off the field, for players, staff, and even Coach Knight himself.
No job's too big, no job's too small. In order to be successful, you have to be willing to wear a lot of hats, and you have to do those jobs that other people aren't willing to do. If you work hard, you can get them done, no matter how big those are or overwhelming it may seem. No job's too big, but more importantly, no job's too small. You have to be willing to do both of them to make it work.
You kind of see the example, and you kind of lean on one another and just doing right and working hard, and at the end of the day, being a good man, and that says it all about Coach Knight, because all the ingredients of being a good person, being a good man, high character, integrity, hard work, he embodies every one of those, and he's set such a good example for me.
When you do something, give it your all. Don't half butt it. Don't go out there playing. Just when you do something, be the best at it, and try to conquer everything you do.
Coach Knight now looks to extend his career win total even further after signing an extension with the program through the 2031 season. With Newberry in the hunt for another SAC title and playoff berth this season, the Newberry community eagerly awaits each Saturday with Coach Knight at the helm. Tucker Moore, NCTV.
There is a road laid out for me.
Boxes everywhere. And this is gonna be Addie's room.
I am blind,
You really don't like it?
I hope so, yeah. I know this road is there for me. There is a long way.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
The way it's down by the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
I got this.
I know this road is there for me.
Okay.
If I'm really free, take me down to the river and wash me.
Welcome back to Wolves Weekly. Now let's get to the scoreboard and get you caught up with all the action that took place over the past week. The Wolves were on the road this past weekend playing against SAC opponent, the Tusculum Pioneers. The Wolves were hoping to keep their momentum heading into this game after a stunning double overtime win over Wingate. The Wolves would strike first in this game by recording an 84-yard touchdown by Quez Spells to put the Wolves up 7-0. The game was a back-and-forth battle with the Pioneers, eventually taking the lead 21-13. The Wolves' offense scored 2 touchdowns in the second half to take the lead, but a blocked field goal put the game away and gave Tusculum the chance to tie the game at 28-all. With just over 3 minutes remaining, the Wolves drove the length of the field and scored the go-ahead touchdown, and the Wolves' defense held up strong in the fourth quarter when they got a turnover on downs to seal the victory. The Wolves would go on to beat the Pioneers 35-28 and improve to a record of 5-1 overall and 4-1 in conference play. The Wolves are set to play the Mars Hill Lions on October 18th at 6 p.m. at Setzler Field.
The Wolves women's volleyball team played 2 conference matches this past week. On Tuesday, as they traveled to Anderson, South Carolina to face the Trojans, falling 3-0. Anna Schneider led the Wolves with 8 kills, while Annie Dale added 23 assists. Looking to bounce back, the Wolves hosted Lenore Ryan on Friday, but came up short again, losing 3-1. Schneider once again led the team with 11 kills, and Merrick Brackett tallied 26 assists. The Wolves now stand at 7-6 overall and 2-5 in the SAC play. They'll return home this week to face Coker University.
The Wolves men's soccer team played 2 matches this week at the Smith Road Complex. They faced Bob Jones University, looking to rebound from a tie against Lenore Ryan. Tomas Quieros opened the scoring in the 7th minute, giving the Wolves an early lead. They dominated in the second half, adding 3 more goals to secure a 4-0 victory. On Saturday, the Wolves traveled to face SAC opponent Lincoln Memorial, hoping to maintain their momentum. Lincoln Memorial struck late in the first half, and despite several efforts, the Wolves couldn't find the equalizer, falling 1-0. The Wolves now hold a 5-2-2 overall record and a 1-2-2 conference play record. They'll be back on the road this week to take on Coker University.
Both the men's and women's cross-country teams traveled to Bluffton, South Carolina to run in the Sand Shark Invitational. Both teams showed strong performances during the event. On the men's side, Tyler Shumate earned an all-invitational team honor thanks to a top 10 finish. Tyler would also lead the Wolves to 7th place finish in an 8K with a time of 25:38. His effort would also help the Wolves finish 6 out of 13 teams. On the women's side, the Wolves will place 7th out of 13 teams, thanks to Olivia Hare, who finished 30th with a time of 19:26 in the 5K. Both men's and women's teams are set to run in the South Atlantic Conference Cross Country Championship on October 25th, Greenville, Tennessee.
This week's South Carolina Army National Guard Players of the Week are field hockey senior defender Emma Holzmeyer and senior football wide receiver Keith Desashore. Holzmeyer anchored a dominant Newberry defense, leading the number 3 ranked Wolves to decisive wins over Wingate and Converse and extending their program best start to 8-0. Holzmeyer scored her 2nd goal of the season in the victory at Wingate and leads the Wolves defensive unit that is 1st in the South Atlantic Conference and is 3rd in the country in goals against average. Desashore caught a career-high 11 passes for 107 yards and a touchdown, plus the touchdown and 2-point conversion reception in overtime as the Wolves defeated Wingate 43-42. Desashore leads the South Atlantic Conference in touchdown receptions with 6 and 7 catches per game. He has surpassed a 100-catch and 1,000-yard plateau for his career.
And as always, don't forget that you can find the latest on Newberry College athletics at newberrywolves.com. You can find all the headlines, check the stats, learn how the teams are getting ready for the next game, see the latest schedule, and get your official Wolves merchandise. All this and more is available anytime you want it and anywhere you want it at newberrywolves.com. And now, let's take a look ahead for the weekend slate of games for your Newberry Wolves. And that's all for this edition of Wolves Weekly. I'm Courtney Belton.
And I'm Tucker Moore. Join us next time for more Wolves Weekly.